Hello and welcome to the talkSPORT Goals Preview Show, brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill, 18 plus, thegambleaware.org. I'm Sam Ellard, and joining me to look ahead to all of the Premier League games this weekend is Lee Phelps. Hi Lee, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've missed you, Sam. FA Cup was sensational, but can't wait to get back to the Premier League.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate. Miss you too. It's been a long time. We've got a good Premier League weekend, and no better place to start than Man United v Man City. Of course, the first game in charge, back in charge for Michael Carrick. United 7th, drawn their last 3, but just 3 points off the top 4. Man City have also drawn each of their last 3 Premier League games. City is 6 points behind Arsenal, who are top of the table. Manchester derby, Saturday 12:30. How's this one going, Lee?
Yeah, what a way to start. You're right. I mean, Man City, understandably, a touch of odds on here. 27-10 the draw and 12-5 for Manchester United. The fascinating thing here is imagine this being your first game in charge, Sam. So Michael Carrick obviously set his Borough side up. They were heavily possession-based. They invited teams onto them and then they tried to hit them on the break. They can't, obviously, Manchester United cannot do that against Manchester City. They'll get battered. Under Darren Fletcher, the results were poor, those two, but 48 shots on goal in those 2 games, 18 on target. If Carrick sticks with that, which is the only thing I think he can do, I think they'll have a go at City. I think City's still winning. I think there'll be goals in it. You know, United's record at home to City, there's only been a couple of goals in over 550 minutes of football, 6 matches in the league and cup. They won 2-1, of course, last time. Bryan Mbeumo's back, which is great for them. He was the club's leading scorer before AFCON. He still is. Šeško's now got 5, to be fair to him, and he's starting to find his feet. I think City, I think this is starting to look like a must-win for City in the sense that if they want to keep on Arsenal's coattails, they need to start winning games. If they'd won those 3 games that they drew, I know it's a big if, they'd be top of the table going into this on goal difference. I think they do win. Haaland's got 8 goals and 3 assists against United in his 9 games against them. Antoine Semenyo, what a start to his life at City. He's 7-4 to score. I've got some really interesting Michael Carrick specials as well, which so kind of what will they do over the next 3 games? Will they finish in the bottom half, etc.? So Man United to concede 6 or more goals in the first 3 games under Michael Carrick. City at home, Arsenal away, and Fulham at home is 15-8. And Man United to lose those first 3 games under Carrick, City at home, Arsenal away, Fulham at home, 11-1.
I think they lose the first 2. And then Fulham are a good team in form. That might be a nice price, that 11-1 there. I could see it, you know.
I know, I like it as well. Yeah. So, I mean, you can back them to lose. I mean, this won't happen, but to lose the first 5, which is City, Arsenal, Fulham, Spurs at home, and West Ham away, is 125-1. I don't think they're doing that.
I don't mind the 11-1
like
shot. I'm not sure that
good
one.
Argument for the 3.
So City at United, Saturday 12:30, and then we go to the Saturday 3 o'clock game, Chelsea-Brentford. Should be a great game. Brentford 5th and flying high. Who would have seen this coming? Chelsea have won just 1 of their last 8 Premier League games against Brentford. It's an awful record. And Chelsea have won only 1 of their previous 9 games in the Premier League. Meanwhile, Brentford are unbeaten in each of their last 6 Premier League games, only enjoying a longer unbeaten run in the competition in March 2023. So all those stats, Lee, point towards Brentford going nicely. But are you going to tell me that Brentford is still quite a big price to go to Stamford Bridge and win?
Yeah, they're 18-5, which is, you know, well over 3-1, not quite 4s, obviously. But I think I was surprised when I looked at Brentford's record there. You know, since the return to the top flight, won 3 and lost 1 at Stamford Bridge. You know, obviously Chelsea had amazing cup tie on Wednesday night, didn't they? They lost. You know, they're involved in a lot of these brilliant games against the top teams and seldom actually win them. But you know, Liam Rosenior's substitution, bringing Garnacho on, worked wonders. Still lost that first home game, but he's been very positive since, hasn't he? I fancy Brentford to score at the very least. You know, look, I'm not going to put anyone off backing them to win this game. The draw 29-10 is decent. I mean, Igor Thiago, 17 goals in 22 games for them this season. That's sensational, isn't it? I mean, like, if it wasn't for Haaland, he would be far and away like the top scorer. 8-5 to score here, which is a bit bigger than he probably should be. Kevin Schade scored in the game at Brentford early this season. He's always dangerous, 17-5. So Chelsea are 4-6 to win this game. It's 4-6 for both teams to score. If I was having to pick, 4-6, both teams to score, I'd rather back that than Chelsea at 4-6.
Yeah, I think 4-6, as you said, there is way short. I really like Brentford. I know their record at home is better than away. They're in great form. Not sure the Chelsea team in a good place at the moment. I think possibly Brentford victory there. We've got really good 3 o'clock games on Saturday. Also, Leeds versus Fulham. Leeds did lose their last game to Newcastle. That thriller 4-3. But Ellen Road, they are unbeaten in 4 matches, winning 2. Leeds are 8 clear of the relegation zone. Fulham 4 points off the top 4. Only Liverpool and Man City are on longer ongoing unbeaten runs in the Premier League than Fulham, with only Arsenal collecting more points in the competition from the start of that run in early December. 2 teams in really good form. How do you see this one going, Lee?
Yeah, interestingly, we've got a big £200,000 final one standing game, which has 4 players left in it. 200 grand, Sam. 4 players left, and they have gone for Brighton, Spurs. 2 people have gone Spurs, and 1 has gone for Leeds United here in this game. Leeds are 5-4 to win this. Feels a little short. 21-10 the draw, and Fulham are over 2-1 at 11-5. Both teams to score is another one here. Leeds' last 8 home games have seen both teams to score. Fulham have scored once in 7 of the last 10 away, and 9 of the last 11 has seen both teams to score. That's 5-6. And we've got 2 of the informed strikers, haven't we? Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Harry Wilson. Calvert-Lewin, of course, the highest scoring Englishman in the Premier League at the moment. Harry Wilson's got 7 this season already. He's 23-10. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is 11-8 to score. I think this is a good one for a bet builder. If you don't want to touch the outright result, I think you're looking at both teams to score. I'd be looking at shots on target from all goals from those 2 strikers. You've got the likes of, there's cards in both of these teams as well, like Sasa Lukic, and I think so. I think this is a really good one for a bet builder. We might have a look at this one on goals and try and put a bet builder together.
Yeah, nice. Again, I think like Brentford, maybe that Fulham price, given the form they're in, might stand out to and appeal to some people. Liverpool, Burnley. We know Liverpool are going to be short. We know Burnley are going to be big. What's the play here, Lee?
Yeah, they're 2-9 Liverpool, 5-1 the draw, 10-1 for Burnley. I mean, they go in an ACCA, don't they? If you're looking at your ACCA boost, you need 4 picks for that. Liverpool have to go in. Look, Burnley winless in 12 league games, way off safety now. I was looking at this stat. It was on Flash Score. You have to go all the way back to October 1970 for the last time the Clarets posted a longer winless top flight run. It was 14 games. The 13th game in that run was away to Liverpool. How does that work? It's like 55 years ago, and it's still the same. So if they lose this one, they're then in danger of equaling their longest winless top flight run. I think they do lose this. The interesting thing is that there's been 1 clean sheet in the last 7 at Anfield against Burnley for Liverpool. So you maybe go Liverpool to win and both teams to score at 7-4. One for you. What about Mo Salah? He's out of AFCON. Obviously, he won't be ready in time for this game. 4 goals in the tournament. Saw Sadio Mane getting one up on him again. He did it in the final, didn't he? Mane's Senegal beating Egypt before playing Morocco in the final. Does Mo Salah come straight back into this team?
Yeah, I think given how Liverpool are still struggling without Mo Salah to try and break down teams that sit with a low block. I mean, there's a familiar pattern. Teams come to Anfield, put 11 behind the ball, and Liverpool really struggle for any sort of creativity. I think Mo Salah does come straight back into this team. Liverpool certainly haven't got better since Mo Salah hasn't been in the team. I know the unbeaten run is now up to 11 games, but it's not a great unbeaten run, is it? It still feels like a struggle. It still feels like it's hard work. Even the game on Monday against Barnsley in the FA Cup, I know in the end, Liverpool scored a couple of goals late on. But again, for large parts of that game against the team in League One, it was hard work. So yeah, maybe not Saturday, but certainly in the following week when the Champions League comes back, I think we'll see Mo Salah come back into that Liverpool team, especially Isak's still out injured. We got Spurs West Ham Saturday 3 o'clock. Maybe the game between the 2 unhappiest fan bases in maybe the world at the moment. We know West Ham, or both teams are struggling, but certainly West Ham are struggling. West Ham winless in their last 10 Premier League games. It's their longest run without a win since a run of 11 between December 2006 and March 2007. They're 18th in the table, 7 off safety, and with a bad goal difference. Spurs themselves aren't doing much better, and Thomas Frank is, of course, under big pressure. Are you confident in backing either of these two sides to win, Lee?
No, not at all. I mentioned final one standing. Spurs feature heavily in the final one standing picks. We've got, I mentioned that £200,000 pot, which has got 4 players left. There are 4 players left in one of the £50,000 pots. All 4, as it stands as we record this. Remember, you can change, you can edit up to kick off. All 4 have gone Spurs, by the way. So if Spurs lose or draw this, then they share the 50k. There's another 20k pot where 4 players have gone Spurs. One's gone Fulham, one's gone Brighton, and the same for a couple more. Spurs are really popular. I think it says more about who they're playing than how good Spurs are, because they are woeful. 17th in the table. If you look at it from a home perspective, that's awful, isn't it? This is the favourite and the second favourite to be the next Premier League managers to leave their clubs. Nuno's record, points per game, is 0.7. Potter's was 0.6. Spurs are odds on now to finish in the bottom half of the Premier League. This is must win for both teams, I think. Spurs, 2 wins from 12 games since the start of November, drawing 4, losing 6. You look at Thomas Frank's record, he's only got 3 more points, Sam, than they had at this stage under Ange Postecoglou last season. It's desperate for both sides. The thing is, Spurs are odds on, 8 to 11. I cannot back Spurs against anyone. Well, who would you back Spurs against in the Premier League at odds on? Wolves are playing pretty well. Maybe West Ham are the only team who don't seem to be fighting at the moment. 14-5 is the draw, which is just a little bit under 3-1. 7-2 for West Ham. Can't back West Ham. Maybe you go draw on both teams to score a 1-1 or a 2-2. That's priced up at 4-1. Jared Bowen's got a good record in this fixture. Scored or set up a goal in 3 of his last 5 head-to-heads. But I honestly don't know. I'd have to go draw on both teams to score. Score draw at 4-1, I think.
Both sides are really bad. I maybe think West Ham are a little bit badder. There we go. That's my high-tech analysis on this situation. So therefore, by that logic, not that I want to back Spurs at that price, I'm going to just edge Spurs to win this game of football. But it's going to be, I'll say it's going to be fun to watch on Saturday. Maybe not fun for the neutral. But yeah, both teams in awful form. I think maybe just going to go for Spurs. But yeah, I understand why that price is not a bit stingy on the prices there, Lee, given how bad Spurs have been at home now.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I think, like I say, it says more about West Ham than it does about Spurs, that you don't want that. I can't back them. I understand why they're the price they are, because they should be winning games, and obviously they've made signings and they're trying to but I just don't see anything in Spurs. I watched that Villa Spurs game. I thought Villa were good, but I thought Spurs were abject.
It's the team lacking creativity, isn't it? It's the team that are desperately missing Kulusevski, Solanke, Maddison. Kudus didn't play in that game, did he? So yeah, 5 games done. We still got 5 more games to go. This is the talkSPORT Goals preview show, brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill, 18+. Gambleaware.org. It's Sam Ellard and Lee Phelps taking you through the Premier League games this weekend. We've done 5. We've got 5 more to go. One more Saturday, 3 o'clock game. Sunderland Palace. Sunderland remain unbeaten in their 10 Premier League home games this season, winning 5, drawing 5. For a newly promoted team, that's a remarkable record. We know Palace are struggling badly over the last 6 Premier League match days. Only West Ham have earned fewer points than Crystal Palace. They've got 2, drawing 2 and losing 4. Palace in awful form. Sunderland really good at home. Do you like the home team here to win, Lee?
Yes, I do. I think it's one of my favourite bets of the weekend, to be honest. They're 17-10, same price, Crystal Palace to win away. The draw 2-1. Fair play to Sunderland. They've battled through the last few weeks. It was well documented, the AFCON situation. They're probably always going to have a little bit of a dip in form. They've drawn 4, lost 1. So that's since late November. Beat Everton in the FA Cup. And now they welcome back Bertrand Traore, Arthur Masuaku, Noah Siddiqui, and Ronaldo Mandava from AFCON. So you're bringing those 4 players, whether they all start or not, but you're bringing them into the squad. They've been training. We don't know if they'll start yet. We're recording this a couple of days before the game, of course, but it's good news for them. I think that feel-good factor of we've got through that bad spell and we're at home. Palace, obviously, I mean, all the things that you mentioned and the FA Cup. I mean, the irony for Palace is that all that goodwill that was created by winning the FA Cup for the good of football. Do you remember? It was like, oh, this is great for football. Well, they've been done. They've got a taste of their own medicine because Macclesfield get all the same stuff by beating them. It's like how kind of fickle football is.
I do feel for Crystal Palace a little bit because Oliver Glasner and the team have done an unbelievable job. And I appreciate it's not as easy as to go out and spend money and bring in 6 to 8 new additions. But I think when you look to the balance of this Palace squad, for a ball was kicked this season, I'm not even talking about Eza going. I'm talking about they needed to build a bigger squad to be able to deal and juggle with Europe and maybe, the Cup, the Carabao Cup, they got to the quarterfinals. That squad was always going to be thin. Plus a couple of injuries, Sarr going to AFCON, which they would have known. A run like this happening around this time of the season, it didn't take a genius to predict this was going to come.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think, unless you're absolutely against Crystal Palace, most football fans would want to see them kind of, get back on track. It's difficult because it's the weight of expectations heavy on them, isn't it? And just how do you cope with that kind of season? Look, the long and short of it is, I just don't see them beating Sunderland here. I don't even see them getting a draw. Like you said, Sunderland great at home, held Arsenal, held Man City. I think 17-10, Sunderland's one of the bets of the weekend.
Yep, I think that's going to go in Accas, isn't it? To Saturday, 5:30, Forest Arsenal. Arsenal will start the day. Maybe not the game, but they certainly start the weekend 6 clear of the top. Forest beating West Ham last time out. Massive win for them. They are 17th, but they're 7 clear of West Ham. Only West Ham and Wolves, though, have lost more Premier League home games this season than Forest. And Forest have lost 8 of their last 10 Premier League games against Arsenal. Lee, what's the bet here, do you think?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because, Arsenal are 8-15, which is definitely one for an acca. There's no doubt in that. 3-1 on the draw, and Forest are 24-5, which is just under 5-1 at home. I think Forest kind of got away with it a little bit. The FA Cup weekend, they were almost saved by kind of Macclesfield's amazing result and the fact they played Wrexham on Friday, but they got dumped out by Championship team, of course. I think this fixture will probably do a lot for Arsenal's title challenge. And this is the reason why last season, this fixture epitomised Arsenal's struggles. 0-0 at the City Ground in late February. And they just couldn't score goals and couldn't seem to last the pace. This will be another tick in their belief box if they go there and beat what will be a stubborn Forest team. I think the only hope Forest have got is another 0-0. They've scored 4 league goals in front of their own fans in the last 4. And 3 of those were against Spurs. That great result when they beat Spurs 3-0. They're not scoring enough goals for me. I'd be looking at Arsenal's lineup, maybe look at a bet builder because I think they'll have shots galore on goal here. Zubimendi scored twice in the 3-0 win at the Emirates and scored what was effectively the winner in the end against Chelsea in the League Cup semi-final first leg on Wednesday night. So I'd be looking at Zubimendi. I'd be looking at Arsenal winning probably to 0. But yeah, I think this is going to be another easy, not easy, but another comfortable Arsenal win in the end.
Yeah, they got, I think since that defeat away to Villa, it looks like Arsenal have just got the bit between their teeth. They just look really, really on it, don't they? We know they're good defensively. We know they're good from set pieces. They got players coming back, the likes of Havertz and Gabriel Jesus gives them different options going forward. And again, don't expect Arsenal to rock up to Forest on Saturday and beat them 4s and 5s. But I think they get the job done, they win, and they move on. That Saturday, Sunday, we start Wolves Newcastle. Fair play to Wolves. We know they're bottom of the table, going to get relegated. But they are unbeaten in 4 games across all competitions, the next round of the FA Cup. Newcastle, they won their last 3 games in the Premier League, up to 6th, a couple of points off the top 4. Wolves have won just 2 of their last 21 Premier League games against Newcastle. Awful run. I know Wolves are going okay, but I think Newcastle edge this game, Lee, for me on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, they're a touch of odds on. Just under 3-2 on the draw. 7-2 Wolves at home. Unbeaten in 4. They won 3-0 at home to West Ham. Obviously beat Shrewsbury 6-1 in the Cup. A draw at out of form Everton. and at Man United, none of those 4 teams are kind of like at the level you need to be at. And I think I agree with you that Newcastle obviously are a step above West Ham, Shrewsbury, and out of form Everton and Man United. They have only won 2 away games in the league all season. That was at Burnley and Everton. Newcastle, when they do win, they win well, don't they? Won 3-1 and 4-1 in those games. Maybe I'm thinking with my heart, given our Isak versus Wisa match bet, but he had 3 shots on goal versus City. Wisa, 1 on target, 1 blocked. Quite fancy him to be amongst the goals, or at least getting the shots on target here. On the other side, Jürgen Strand-Larsen got a real confidence-boosting hat-trick in the cup, didn't he? I know it was against like lower-level opposition, but maybe there'll be a little bit of extra from him after missing that move to St James's Park.
The 4:30 game is Villa-Everton. Villa starting the weekend 6 off Arsenal, 3rd in the table. Villa are unbeaten in all 13 of their Premier League games against Everton since coming back up to division in 2019. How about this over a stat? Everton on the road. Since David Moyes returned to the club last year, Everton have won 9 of their 19 Premier League away games. Their previous 9 away wins had come over a 65-game spell across 3 different managers in Rafa Benitez, Frank Lampard and Sean Dyche, which is quite remarkable, isn't it? Fair play there to Everton and David Moyes. But despite all that, Everton's got to be the bet here, Lee, hasn't it? And Villa, sorry, at home, surely?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Everton have gone off the boil. 1 win in 7, lost on penalties to Sunderland in the Cup. Grealish is back. He was banned for the FA Cup match, so he's back from his suspension. Still missing their key AFCON players who are in the final with Senegal. I expected Villa to be shorter than 7-10, which is what they are. Like them a lot. I think, again, a bit like, it's hard to say that a single odds on is kind of better the weekend, but it's pretty close to a nap selection, this one. Like I said, I watched that FA Cup game against Spurs. I thought 2-1 flattered Tottenham. I thought Villa were so good. They control games so well. And, that kind of like that possession-based football. But when they hit you hard. And it's like fantastic football. Obviously, we know Rodgers is class. If Watkins is coming back into form, it's great. I thought Bundy I thought he was brilliant in that FA Cup game. To score or assist, maybe to have him. Look at your bet builders here: 25% winnings boost. You get impact sub on your player picks as well. Yeah, 7-10. Everton are just under 4-1, so it's a decent enough price. 13-5 the draw, but for me, Aston Villa, yeah, love watching them.
And Lee, briefly, Monday Night Football: Brighton versus Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think it's Brighton home win here. The price 17-20. So again, one of those prices which a touch of odds on. Fair enough. 11-4 the draw. 13-5 Bournemouth. Bournemouth are terrible away from home, aren't they? And Brighton are a good side. So Brighton haven't been. I'm not saying Brighton are pulling up trees, by the way, but I think they're well capable. Had a bit of a wobble, haven't they? When you look at some of their recent results, but they went away to Sunderland. The poor result was the West Ham one, but also played Villa, so not an easy game. This is home win for me on Monday night.
Lee, top man, I'll see you on Saturday.
Can't wait.
Thank you for watching the talkSPORT Goals preview show. Join us from 12:30 Saturday lunchtime on the talkSPORT YouTube channel and on your smart TVs. We'll keep you across all of the Premier League action. talkSPORT Goals Saturday 12:30. We'll see you then.